Hello, I'm Rob O Donoghue from the Environmental Learning Research Centre, and I've prepared this series of short videos for our Fundisa for Change course on the inclusion of heritage knowledge in ESD. And the reason for doing this is because of the recent outbreak of the coronavirus. So I hope you're all safe. We had to cancel our face-to-face meeting, and now we're working online. And I hope these videos will help because they should be playable on a cell phone, and you can exchange them with each other, as well as have discussions while you do your explorations of Indigenous knowledge in the classroom settings. So our key question is, how do we include Indigenous knowledge heritage in ESD pedagogy and assessment practices in our subject teaching? And here, what I've taken is an approach of situated action learning in school subject teaching around the cultural heritage and history being included, including also the Sustainable Development Goals, looking at expanding pedagogy as well as deepening pedagogy for this purpose, and then looking at some examples: fermented grain, amageu, cultured milk, amasi, and leafy vegetables, imifino. And then, of course, how do we work with assessment? For the first cultural heritage and history, the key question that we're looking at is, how can history and heritage inform action learning, and particularly innovations? And my colleague Sol Shava, whose work I've drawn on quite extensively, points out that the history of heritage in Southern Africa, Indigenous knowledge, shows many creative innovations, and that Indigenous knowledge is never static. Then, of course, how does using the SDG wheel enhance our grasp of complex concerns? And then look at, how do we expand and deepen our subject pedagogy will also be explored. And then, how can heritage inform food security and health innovation? And this is one of the key outcomes that we're looking at, is how does Indigenous knowledge enable us to actually deal with the crises and the difficulties that we're facing today. And finally, on to assessment. How do we assess significant learning? How do we include competences? And what is the place of conventional assessment in our work? So I hope that you're going to enjoy working through each of these videos. I'll keep them as short as possible and try to explore the questions that are asked here.